Like a young cottonwood right here. Look at the slabs right here, man. Ooh, fuck. Talking about that beast. Yeah, hey, woodpsyche here. Hope everyone's doing okay out there and staying occupied and staying healthy. I got this bark I'm working on here that I'm offering for sale off my website if anyone's interested. And more details are available on the video description, and I'll pin a comment as well. That'll link up to my website. It's a secure checkout through PayPal. And if you guys don't have PayPal, we could work something out. Maybe a Venmo. I think I have a Venmo account as well, but I basically use PayPal right now. But free shipping within the U.S. Anyone else, like overseas, would have to pay a little more for shipping since it's going to be a little more expensive. So this bark is pretty good quality. It's not super big, like monster big, but I have some other locations I'm trying to get different sizes, and it's all average 12 inches in length, about 2 to 3 inches in diameter. And I'll stuff as much in the box as possible with a flat rate box. Like I said, there's two sizes, medium and large. So it's a limited supply, so I guess I'll try to get as much as I can in the meantime while I'm still back in the Midwest, but I plan on going back west at some point after a while. But I'm going to be sending some samples to Jordy Johnson, so he's going to work his magic on some pieces that I send him and give his thoughts on the quality of the bark. I could just say from my experience, the bark is pretty good quality. It's not punky or anything like that. And I'll try to inspect the stuff before I send it out, because I don't want to send any crappy stuff out to anyone. But if you do happen to run into problems, I'll be happy to compensate. But other than that, working on this female style. But I've always wanted to do more female style faces, so this one turned out pretty good, considering it's not one of my better pieces, but I just use this as a demonstration to show how the bark looks like when you're carving it. Just wanted to mention also that I couldn't find any larger boxes than 12 inches in length for the flat rate boxes at the local post office. Otherwise, I would have offered some longer pieces. I know some people are into larger chunks of cottonwood, but anyway, unfortunately, all I can offer is 12 inches maximum. Yeah, I'm using this Riffler file to do some minor shaping within the face features. It's a fine grade Riffler file where it's not too coarse, where it's not going to be too aggressive, especially with this kind of material. The bark, it's super soft compared to regular wood. So it doesn't take much to remove material on the bark. And the Riffler file that I'm using here it's a round one. It's got a pointy tip. You can use it to gouge out things too a little bit. Get around the eye sockets. Comes in really handy. Yeah, I try to push myself instead of doing the normal wood spirit bearded guy thing. I try to push myself and try different things like the feminine face, which it's good exercise actually to go outside the comfort zone and see what happens. You know, it never hurts to try, right? So, and also I use a pin vise as well for the detail work here. I got a dental burr on this one here where it's got a sharper blades on the burr where it's pretty aggressive and it's good for the eye detail work in the mouth area. You could see this chunk of bark is not too big in diameter. I know some people prefer larger diameter bark, but unfortunately I can't always get the bigger stuff. It depends on the age of the tree as well. Some of those trees are several hundred years old and they still stand. They're still alive, actually. So I only take bark from a dead tree. I don't go for the live trees. It's unsustainable to do so, I would say. The ideal tree is finding one that's lying horizontal on the ground. When you see the dead standing ones, it's a little difficult to get to the tops of these trees sometimes, so you got to be aware of that. And I don't like to limit myself to just power tools here. I'm using a gouge. Just do some minor shaping and stuff. Gouges work really well on cottonwood bark. It just goes through the stuff really more easily than let's say a whittler's knife or something, I would say. As far as like mobility issues, because with the gouge you could just like get into the eyes a little easier, I would say, as opposed to like a regular knife. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know. People may find it easier the other way. These gouges, they're not very expensive. They were gifted to me from a friend, and they they really don't have the best edge on them. So you always have to constantly like sharpen these things. They're not the they're kind of cheaper ones. But yeah, it's always good to have sharp tools, I would say. Because especially with the bark, I would say, even though the bark's easier to carve, if you have a dull gouge, it's going to make a messy cut onto the bark. So if you have a sharper tool, it just goes through the bark a lot cleaner. But when it comes to rotary tools, that's not an issue. Yeah, I periodically give a sanding to the face just to see what the outcome is going to be. Then I'll go over with the final steel wool at the end, like super fine stuff, and it makes it more smoother. But you got to worry about the grain. Sometimes the grain in the bark has like more denser areas, so you'll see some layer action going on. As far as like high points go, there's unevenness sometimes, but with a rotary tool, you just it just motos through all that stuff. Yeah, I'm just penciling in some areas here where I need to focus on. Even though the area is already defined, I just want to like throw some graphite down on there just to give it more contrast to see what the outcome would be when I remove the material somewhat. More like a contrast thing. Yeah, I recommend the pin vise tool. That comes in handy with the detail work for the final stages of your carvings. And you can use them like as a scribe as well for defining eyelids, pupils, and whatnot. In the nostril area as well. Here I use the power tool just to create the nostrils right there. You can push it in way deeper without worrying about popping through the other side. That burr I'm using there is it's a diamond burr, but it's got a super small diameter ball burr, and it's perfect for small work like this. Then I'll throw some wire wool on there, get the thing smoothed down a bit. Yeah, it looks like we're getting to the end of this video, and I think we got a wrap on this face. I just wanted to mention the bark sales that I have available for anyone that's interested. And if you have questions or anything, just email me with my email that's on my website or my YouTube channel. Get a hold of me that way. I'll be happy to respond to any questions that you may have or anything like that. So, anyway, so take care, everyone, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.